Hello, thank you for doing this listing presentation with me today. My name is Janet Lacandrada. I'm sure you already know, but thank you for joining us at Tailored Realty. We are real estate tailored to your needs and when nothing but the very best will do. When interviewing a company that you may want to use to help you to sell your home, you want to ask yourself, why would I choose one agent over another? Why use Tailored Realty? Because you get a team, not just one agent. Not only are you working with me, Janet, but you also get anyone on the team. In addition to that, the broker Lloyd Taylor happens to be my partner and my spouse. So for that, you will always be getting more than just one agent. There'll never be a time where one of us won't answer the phone. Collectively, our team has over 50 years experience in the Southeast Florida real estate market. I myself am a native and I've been in this area my entire life. We take a full service approach to real estate, which simply means there is no genre of real estate that we just do not specialize in. We service residential to commercial from Port St. Lucie down to the Keys. In all the markets, we have a pro for you. As mentioned, my husband, my broker, my partner, Lloyd Taylor, is our broker. I have provided you with his broker license number for your information. The broker, Lloyd Taylor, has been a licensed Florida realtor since 1990. Because Lloyd has over 32 years of experience in and around Palm Beach County, this gives his agents and the clients the edge needed to understand our local market. In addition to typical real estate, Mr. Taylor's experience comes from being an investor himself. So this experience gives him the perspective from your point of view. We at Tailored Realty are real estate tailored to your needs. By completing the seller's questionnaire and the seller's disclosure for that matter, this will allow us to ask you the right questions in order for us to be able to best tailor your experience to your specific needs. Once we know your goals, we can customize your experience to those topics that are most important to you. We pride ourselves on listening to what you need and focusing on what we can do to make your dreams come true. Getting you to the closing table and providing the best customer service throughout this process is our ultimate goal. What you get by choosing Tailored Realty: exposure, exposure, exposure. The truth is houses often sell themselves, as long as they are priced right and in the proper condition. Once someone falls in love with your home, there is no obstacle that they won't overcome to own it. Here is where we come in. It is to expose your home to ensure that it is viewed by as many people as humanly possible. This is one of the things that makes a better realtor than another: exposure. Another important factor when you're deciding on which real estate agent to use is make sure you're choosing one that provides exemplary customer service. Myself and our agents work tirelessly to create relationships throughout the U.S. and beyond to captivate those individuals who will fall in love with your home. Our many resources span over 5 continents and all 52 states. This allows as many eyes to see your home as possible. We openly provide our contact information so that they know how to contact us. And most important, we answer our phones. I can't tell you how many agents out there just don't pick up their phone. That seems ridiculous to me. And it is something that I make sure that myself and all of my agents are very conscientious of. We answer every phone call as to make sure not one client slips through the cracks. In today's tech-savvy world, a lot of people are figuring, why don't I sell my house myself? Why should I hire a real estate agent? Why shouldn't I just sell it myself? Well, there are many benefits to hiring a real estate agent. If you were going to go to court, would you try to defend yourself, or would you hire the expert that does it on a daily basis? I'm going to give you 8 quick benefits of using a real estate agent versus doing it yourself. We are constantly practicing our negotiating skills. We can negotiate a contract much better than you can because we take the emotions out of it. It's very difficult for a homeowner who is attached to their home to negotiate effectively. As a matter of fact, real estate agents often will get you 28% more on their negotiating skills for your home than you will, believe it or not. Also, our market knowledge is up to date. We are constantly immersing ourselves in the real estate and listening to information all day long about the real estate market. We eat, sleep, and drink it. So if anybody knows about the real estate market, it's real estate agents. We also have access already to buyers and sellers. When we list your house, we may already have a buyer waiting in the wings to buy your home. You won't have that. If you're lucky, you'll put a sign on the property, or maybe you'll put it up on 1 or 2 websites, and you might get some phone calls. Not only do you have to field those calls, but you have to know what to say to those people. And you have to learn how not to be very emotional if they complain or if they criticize your home. This is where we create the barrier from the buyer to the seller, which is important to get the best negotiating. We dedicate our time fully to real estate so that you can spend your time doing what you're good at. We have sales expertise. We're constantly in continuing education training, and we can give ongoing advice throughout the entire process. So if you ever feel confused or you need some assistance, all you have to do is pick up the phone, make a text or an email, and you've got the answer at your fingertips. We also are versed in the paperwork. Once you get a buyer for your house, do you know how to write the contracts? Do you know where to access the contracts? Do you know which contracts are accurate? Do you know if you're completing those contracts correctly to make sure that you don't get burned at the end of the transaction? One of the main reasons that you hire a real estate agent to sell your house is the multiple listing service. The multiple listing service is the most accurate and comprehensive database to find and sell homes. Only licensed real estate agents have access to the actual MLS. Sure, there are other sites on the market that you can properly put your house on, but none takes the place of the MLS. A lot of people are very computer savvy, as I mentioned, but it takes so much more to be a real estate agent than just simply putting your house on a website. Once you find the buyer, then what do? We're going to take all of that thought process right out of your head. Real estate agents have the experience to help you value your property correctly. This is super important. You want to make sure that you list your property correctly right from the beginning. Thinking that you're going to overprice it and then come down later is not the right way to do it, even though we know you want to get top dollar. Typically, you want to put the house a little under market value and let it get driven up by multiple offers. A lot of people don't realize that, and that's typically what we try to do. Obviously, it's going to depend on your market, your home, how it's kept, the condition it's in, the age of the roof, and many, many other variables. If you don't price your house right, you're going to be tying yours and the real estate agent's hands behind their back, sabotaging your ability to get top dollar. Our strategies are used because they work. We have seen them work over and over again. This is where trusting who you use is so important. Whether you use Tailored Realty or anybody else, and I'm sure hoping you use us, trust who you use. If you cannot trust them, you will absolutely sabotage your own transaction. Not to mention, you will make it hard on yourself. We don't want that. Keeping the buyers and sellers in the know regarding inspection issues, appraisal issues, title issues, not to mention who will write the contracts, is the best, and what is the best contract to use. These are going to be all questions that you don't even have to worry about by alleviating yourself and allowing us to bear the burden. Selling a home can be fun, but it can also be very hard. I'm sure you've heard that the 5 most stressful life events are the following: death of a loved one, divorce, major illness or injury, job loss, and moving, right? It's no secret that moving, home selling can at moments and will likely be very stressful. Just think of us as your airline pilot. It's our job to get you to your destination as safely and efficiently as possible. There will be turbulence, sure, but put your trust in us and allow us to carry the burden of stress as often as possible. This way, we can use our flying experience to get you to your destination, the closing table. As your airline pilot, I can't promise you no turbulence along the way, but I can promise you that I will utilize my experience and expertise to take you on the smoothest flight possible. If we do hit turbulence, I won't bail on you. I'll be your teammate throughout the flight until we get safely to your destination. I'm certainly not going to read all of these potential types of turbulence that you could run into when you're dealing with a transaction, but I want you to know there's at least 88, and I promise you there's probably more. Every transaction, every house, every buyer, and every situation is different, so we're going to have a different experience. And look, there's even more. You and I cannot know which types of these turbulences will happen during your real estate transaction. And when they do happen, our goal is to fix the problem first, then call you and tell you how we fixed it to alleviate you from dealing with the majority of the stress that comes along with the home selling and buying process. Marketing strategy. Yes, of course we have a marketing strategy. If you're interviewing agents and they do not have a marketing strategy, I would rethink using them to sell your home. They should have a clear picture of your target market and what buyer is perfect for your home. If we do not understand the property area benefits of owning this home, then how can we find you the perfect buyer? While you are completing your seller's questionnaire and your seller's disclosure, you can bet I am researching. I am checking out the area you live in. I am contacting your HOA. I'm obtaining the rules and regulations. I'm talking to your neighbors, and I'm gathering many other qualities about your house that will help me to target market to that ideal specific buyer. When selling a house, the ways that are successful in selling a home are these strategies. Posting your house on the internet, using a realtor, putting yards on and open house signs out, talking to your friends, neighbors, or relatives, home builders and buyer's agents, new sellers and direct from sellers, and print newspaper ads. These are all ways people attempt to use marketing strategies to accumulate buyers to buy your home. 51% are from the internet. So you better hope that your real estate agent has a huge internet presence and knows how to market on the internet. You can bet that we do. Chances are you may have met us on the internet or you have seen us on the internet. If not, feel free to look us up and you'll find us everywhere. Okay? Realtors are the second biggest reason a house gets sold. Okay? Look at yard signs are 8%. I'm surprised it's that big. Friends and neighbors giving you referrals is 4%. So be sure to tell your friends and neighbors that you're selling your home. Sometimes people don't want the neighbors to know, and that's okay. We will respect your privacy if that's the case. However, you would be surprised. Neighbors would love their family members perhaps to live next door. So they're a great resource. Also, if you end up bringing the buyer or we bring the buyer, you can save a little bit on the commission. Knowing that the majority of buyers are going to come from the internet these days, some of our amazing tools that we have are as follows. We have something called the Great 88. There are so many real estate websites that are best to present your property on. Okay, so I call that the Great 88. So we have at least 88 that we think are the prime places people go to search properties, and you'll see a lot of them are listed here. Okay, we have something called Property Blast, where we actually pay extra once we take your listing to blast this property to real estate agents all over the United States. So for example, if we're in a market where everybody's moving from California, from New York down to West Palm Beach, Florida, you can bet we are sending out a property blast to all of the real estate agents in New York, California, or wherever they're migrating from, and we can do this from anywhere in the world as well, to put under the real estate agent's noses, because chances are the people in New York, per se, are selling their home to move here. So now if I gave them an email with your picture on it saying, check this house out, they're going to be able to automatically have that information for their seller who's looking to buy that exact property that you have to offer in Florida. All right. We use photographers and videographers. We do drones. Depending on the property and if it's significant and important to be able to market it in that way, then that's what we'll do. A lot of vacant land gets drones, huge estates, things like that. We do neighborhood postcards. If you live in the neighborhood or you live in the property when we're trying to list it, chances are you're going to get a postcard saying that your house was just listed to your neighbors. It's a beautiful postcard with pictures of your home. That way your neighbors will be notified that if they have any buyers interested in buying your home, it is on the market. We send out real estate magazines. We do video tours. We have something called Proxio Pro, which is our internet real estate Facebook. Basically, we communicate as real estate agents to other real estate agents all over the world. Yes, you heard it right, all over the world. We have them in Brazil, in Germany, in Italy, in France, in Australia, everywhere, Canada, okay? So we also have something called Global Real Estate Site, which is an international real estate listing site. So it's almost like the MLS, but internationally. Not all real estate agents are going to use all of these on your listing. So be sure that their marketing strategy has this. Possibly and most likely they won't. So another reason to look at Tailored Realty. In addition to the great 88 websites that we're going to be putting this property on, and granted, we're probably putting it on like 10,000, but 88 are the main ones that most people are going to research. All of the Tailored Realty agents that we have in our team also promote your house on all of their personal websites. So we have a Tailored Realty personal website, and each agent has their own individual website. Sometimes they have 2 or 3. So you can bet that your property will also be listed there. Our entire network of agents and vendors share your listing on their websites just to amplify and multiply your exposure. So as one posts, another one ends up seeing your property, and so on and so on and so on, right? Your home listing will spread like wildfire. You will never have to worry if your house is getting enough exposure if you work with Tailored Realty. There is no company that will do more than Tailored Realty will do regarding your exposure. These are some of the magazines that our listings are in. So if you list with Tailored Realty, there is a chance that your listing will be in one of these magazines. This is just showing you a couple of ads that we've taken out in the magazines with our pictures. Here's some samples of postcards that we've used in the past and possibly will use for your property. Postcards to your neighbors. Neighbors can be your best cheerleaders. So we like to send these out to neighbors showing that your house is on the market. When we list your property, if it's something you feel comfortable with, we could do an open house. Open houses with the team. We usually have the entire team show up to the open houses. With your permission and COVID permitting, of course, we would love to do an open house for you. Hot properties thrive in an open house. Okay, it allows us to pinpoint a convenient time to show your home when you have it set up at your best. Trying to show them throughout the week and scatter and stagger the showings could be more cumbersome, where if we do an open house, we can direct all of the buyers to please see the open house all in one day. Not only is that great for you because you can prepare the house and not be interrupted during the week, but it also allows for other buyers to see the activity that's going into your home. And if they see there's a lot of activity, they will be more likely to put a higher offer on your property. So open houses are great. This is just an example of our Property Blast home site where we can contact any one of these states to share your property with agents in these databases. There are thousands and thousands in every state of real estate agents. So you could get a lot of exposure that way. Here are a few examples of what those property blasts look like. These are emails that a real estate agent is going to receive. As soon as they click on that email, this will pop up with all of the descriptions and pictures about the property that you have for sale. We list your property all over the world. Did you know there's 3 ways to list your house? And if and when you decide to sell your house, you must decide which route that you wish to take. There is the traditional method, which is the one that we recommend and the one that we have already discussed. There's also an off-market listing. So let's say, for example, you do not want to put a sign on your property. You do not want to do open houses. You do not want people coming into your home very often. We could do something called an off-market listing where you tell us the price that you would be willing to take if a buyer came along at that price range. Then what we would do is just keep that information in our database, and as we have buyers come in, we will present them to you. This is a very difficult way, in a way that you probably will not get. I mean, if you're actively looking to sell your house, you are going to wait. Okay. Even if we have a buyer tomorrow, it might not be at the price range that you want. However, if there is a price point and it's not where you want it to be today, you tell me what that price point is that would entice you to want to sell your home, and I will put that on the back burner. And as we see people come in, I will at least present you with offers. You will have to sign what is called a one-time showing agreement, which will ensure that we have the authority to come in and show the property to this particular person who has an offer already in writing. Okay, there's also something called an iBuyer method. Okay, this is an instant offer. I can get somebody to instantly offer you in 72 hours so that you never have to list the property. Chances are, when we do the instant iBuyer, they're going to be looking at an average value market valuation, which means they're going to be looking at the market value and they're going to be looking at what they want to sell it for. So there's going to have to be a little bit of spread, we call it, which is some equity in the home that they are going to actually need to spend a little more money on to be able to give you that offer. So in other words, that offer is going to be a little bit lower than market value because they need to make a profit to resell your home. The reason that they're instantly buying it is because they're buying it as an investment, and investors often have cash. So if you would like to do the iBuyer method, it's because you want to sell it right away for cash and you do not want to be bothered with the process of selling the house. We have no problem with any one of these 3 methods. I will find that the iBuyer method, you will most likely make a little bit less on the property, but you will deal with a lot less headache, and it should turn out that you can sell it much faster. Okay, any one of these methods would be appropriate. We do highly recommend that you sell it the traditional way if you are looking to get top dollar. Your success is our success, and that's why you want to use Tailored Realty. It is very important that for us to be successful in real estate, we must have a great reputation, and we must do our job well to sell your home or help you buy a house. If we do a good job, you will no doubt refer us to your friends and family. Referrals are the best compliment you can give us. So we have a vested interest in helping you achieve your real estate goals. Thank you for trusting us and allowing us to help get you to the closing table.